Welcome to the JBR Download. I'm Craig Rickard, Executive Director of the Jonesboro Advertising and Promotion Commission. On this episode of the JBR Download, we're covering a lot of stuff. Starting off with Ted Herget, the owner of Gearhead Outfitters. We're going to talk about the history of Gearhead, I guess maybe its presence and its future. And also, Ted always has some good opinions on what should be going on in the city of Jonesboro. And we are getting so close to the holidays. We're going to talk all things Christmas, about Joyfest. That's my wife, Sarah Rickert, who puts that on with the Downtown Jonesboro Alliance, and Adam Sarton from Ground Crew, who puts on Christmas at the Park. So all that stuff is happening right now on the JBR Download. Back here on the JBR Download, talking to Ted Herget, co-owner with his lovely wife, Amanda, of Gearhead Outfitters. And Ted, thanks for being with us. Let's talk about Gearhead, first of all. You guys are coming off winning a pretty cool award, a statewide award, Talk Business. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it was the Arkansas Business Executives of the Year. Now, just to be nominated, like we were talking a minute ago, just to be in the same room of Dr. Shields, who was in a different category. I mean, if he was in my category, he'd win by a mile, but just like David Peacock, high troll. I mean, it was just a really neat. I mean, in Arkansas business, they do a really good job of, I think, just highlighting like really cool businesses and a lot of things going on in the state. So I think just being nominated was the award.
Right.
Winning it was just more embarrassing than anything. I mean, it's like just to be up on the screen was cool. So
that's great.
I mean, it was great for Northeast Arkansas. We had a lot of great people represented down there, and so it's just happy to be involved.
The Gearhead story is fantastic. Starting off so small. I remember when you had that little place over there on Flint.
Yeah.
Just this little hole-in-the-wall store. And now you're, 7 states, 23, 24 stores?
24 as of the day. We popped into knock, Kansas City. Here we are. We're in Edmond, Oklahoma. Oklahoma City.
But, I mean, this growth, homegrown company, spanning all these states, what has made all that happen?
And what's funny is, I was online before Amazon was there. It's not like this is a big fancy story. It's 29 years come next month, or 2 months. So it's just slow and steady. I mean, tortoise and the hare, all those old fables to me just kind of play out. But, it's never been a growth play. I mean, it's been a talent play. It's people you create. I was the first employee, then my best friend Josh Olson, helped me for a while. Then I hired another, and as you create the talent, and Heath Gamble was really my first full-time, came from the Buckle, and he understood scale and he understood, these service strategies. So he's really who got me, kind of uncomfortable whenever the Mall Turtle Creek was built, and kind of the message was like, man, let's take Main Street service, which is like your son started with us. And like the training he's going through is really, it's 20 plus years of us working and finally putting it down on paper, So I think any of our employees, I mean, the art is kind of like old school retail, right? Knowing your customers, Nordstrom way. That's Nordstrom. We follow Nordstrom. They're fantastic, but their business model is customer service. So really that's what we do. We create talent, and it's slow. Like I said, 29 stores. It gives me like anxiety thinking about it, because I'm cool with just one, but it's just the reality is we've just got so many cool people that work for us.
Right.
And that's the mission, is just creating and helping these guys find their way. And it's a lot of them don't end up with us, but I also have a lot of guys and gals that have been with us for over 20 years. I mean, it's just, and it's funny, the further I get away from it, the better it does. So it's kind of like, that's also a really cool, it's a lesson that a lot of people need to learn. It's like, man, it's just because you think it's real. I mean, our leadership a lot of times, man, is just get the hell out of the way and trust. I mean, watching your kid, I'm walking through the store and there he is. I'm like, going, but he's in good hands. He's in good hands. He's learning from somebody. And I'm like, you know what? He's the front line, and I don't micromanage, and I trust the people that are training him. And it's just a cool, that's the story. It's like Johnny Moore, Bass Pro, heck, he started like 10 years before me. He's, billions and billions. I mean, we're still just, we're hamstringing it. We're hamstringing it. I got dozens of dollars, tens of dollars, and hamstringing it off of King Street in Jonesboro.
You know, you talk about your growth and your day-to-day role. You're the first employee. You are hands on everything. And now you get to sit back a little bit. You're still highly involved. But do you ever walk into one of your stores, maybe not in Jonesboro, and people don't know?
Yeah.
Well, what's that like when you can do like a secret shopper thing?
No, it's like my sister's favorite thing. My sister travels a lot for a job, and so she's always, but as soon as she brings up, it always says Ted's sister, like on her CRM deal. So everybody like freezes. I'm in the stores a lot right now, so you know, it's kind of the art of surprise is not necessarily my angle, but still, if I go to Chicago or out like East Tennessee where I don't travel much, maybe a couple times a year, man, I get that element once they hear it. But I'm like, what I do is if I go to the Chicago store, which is shout out to High Troll, it's like one of our best store up there. It actually has a High Troll conveyor. Which is pretty neat.
That's very cool.
And it says Jonesboro ARK before it was AR, you know. But I sent a video of me on it with Philip, and Philip's like, "Do not do that." I turned it on and jumped on it, and I was riding from first, you know.
Not OSHA approved.
Was done. Hey, listen, one of the scariest things I've ever done. Trying to get off that thing was, terrifying. But I go in and clean the bathroom. It's like, that's what I do. Yeah. Store on Flint. I'm really bad with keys. Like, I don't have a key to anything. My car is like nothing. I leave everything unlocked because I just lose everything. But in the old store, Flint Street, side window wouldn't lock. Right. I'd always leave the key. So I would open the slide window and I would crawl in face first, right in the toilet, and then jump around and jump out. You know, I'm like, so I'm good
I lived near that
toilets.
Store. I never saw that happen. I was like, I lived a block and a half away.
I would sneak in. Like, I wouldn't let anybody see me. I'd slide it, dive in the window so no one could see that the door was unlocked.
That's great.
I still clean the toilet. It's like, that's the thing I can do, you know, and now I kind of drive product. I got a van. I just drive product, and hustle between store and store, get to see a lot of the Arkansas and Oklahoma people more. So
you're a Swiss Army knife now.
Whatever they say.
Yeah, you know, spackle. You just fill it every gap.
I mean, it's just like it never stops. Yeah. It's fun. I'm in a good spot. I've got great people like doing cool things. Man, they love it, or at least they pretend they love it.
Yeah. Well, you and Amanda are a fantastic team. Whenever you call, whenever I call you or Amanda, there's something going on. Can you guys help with this? You always know, one of you knows how to direct it to the other. This is your strength. This is her strength. Yeah. What does she bring to the table? From where I sit, it looks like she's more day-to-day ops, right?
True.
I mean, she's
like in the mafia. It's like I'm the guy that goes out and kills them. They fix them. They're the guys that like clean it. I mean, she's the cleaner, man.
How has her role changed over the years?
I think filling in. I mean, I think it's kind of like me. I mean, she's filled in like operation modes in spots to where, you know, it's kind of falling between the cracks, like warranty. I mean, like she manages the warranty side of things, and anything that we have an issue with the product, it all comes back to Jonesboro, and it's all processed through Jonesboro. And so she works with brands. I mean, no matter what store it is. So she's kind of hopped into that and really owned that. But that was something that it's like every 6 months you do warranties, and they're like, man, that's $40,000. You know? We need to be doing it like every week or every day. So I mean, that's kind of like her day-to-day job is more that type of thing, and she's involved with marketing. You know, we do that strength finder test with a bunch of our people where you kind of put all your personalities in buckets. And her and I's buckets are completely opposite. I mean, she's into harmony, you know, all this kumbaya. And I'm like, mine's like baseball bat smashing windows. So it's just, it balances well. Yeah. I break things and she fixes it. So.
Well, success kind of proves that your formula works. So people will tell you that retail is dead. You know, people aren't shopping brick and mortar anymore. But you guys,
I don't know what news channel you look at. I mean, it's that's not true. I mean, Walmart is killing it. Like those guys are the biggest retailer. It's brick and mortar's back. You know, it's like I was scared. Like when the Amazon thing came out, everybody loved Amazon. Like I tell everybody, if your kids go to public school, if you support the police, all this kind of stuff, Amazon does not pay any property tax. They don't do anything. They don't help anything out. Right. Yeah, it's convenient.
Sure.
But when you hit 911 on your phone, guess what that is? That's Walmart subsidizing that. That's your sales tax and so yeah, the Amazon thing, it was scary. And, you know, that was a big force to deal with. But then once you saw them trying to open stores, you're like, they've solved the riddle. 1 day, 3 days shipping was good, 2 day better than, the same day, whatever. But there's something to going in and touching and feeling things. I very rarely buy anything. And we do not have a Prime account. Like in our house, we don't allow it. We're Walmart ride or die. We're brick and mortar. People follow them. It's all about numbers. And Walmart does support. Maybe they put our grandparents out of business when they had a tire shop, whatever it was. Right. But Sam Walton solved a widget and he won.
Right.
And Amazon tried. And Amazon tried. Yeah, man, on top of property tax, which is the school and all that. The fire guys, pension, everybody. It's just like they win. And you look at those employees that are getting paid and they're renting and driving cars and filling up gas. It's just, it's an economy in itself. So I'm just, we're continuing to open. I mean, I think it's, we're our niche, Walmart's found their niche. I mean, and they're thriving. Shout out to Ferner, who's going to be CEO, such a cool guy, buddy of mine that's taking over Doug McMillan's job. What an awesome guy. And Doug McMillan, again, Jonesboro boy. What a great American story, right? These kids start in a company and they work their way to the top. I mean, it's like, that's American, man. And Walmart plays, I mean, it's like, I love the Walmart store.
Yeah. How did you get hooked up with those guys? I know you spend time with them, the family. How did that come to be?
Well, I mean, it's, just with like, Doug, they just know me as like the Gearhead guy, but because he's got a couple of friends here, and his wife, like, well, I'm the one that shops with you. I'm like, I get it, I got into developing. We ended up opening a store in Rogers. And, so I started spending a lot of time in Rogers, and then we kind of got asked to put a store in Bentonville. So we did that, and through that exercise, and this goes back 12, 13 years ago, that's where really I started developing. Like I've been in retail 100% my life, and then once we got the Rogers store kind of set up and rolling, and with the Bentonville transition, here you are in this sleepy little town that, I mean, it reminds me of like Broadmoor and Jonesboro. Like it's just like that part around South School or whatever it is now. Like it's just this with a little downtown with a Mexican restaurant and, an art gallery being built and all that. And you start realizing you're like, and I befriended, Amanda's brother's best friend. And so he got into developing. So I kind of funded him to help him get started building houses. And I meet with this kid named Tom, and he's showing me this 11 by 14 laminate of, it just said, it's a beer, and it said pizza, beer, IMBA, which is International Mountain Bike Association, and DBI, which is the downtown Bentonville, kind of like the DJA or whatever. So, but it's, it was pretty cool. I'm sitting there with him and his handler, man, Brenda, super sweet lady, man. She passed away last year. I mean, she's a really, really nice lady. But this is a dump part of town. I mean, you're like 6 blocks. You've been to the store, so you're 6 blocks off the square. But you saw it 12 years ago. There were cars with barbed wire behind it. I mean, the Gearhead Outfitters deal was like bike shop. Yeah. So you're just, Tom's telling me this vision. And I'm looking at him, and we'd already bought everything behind it. So I was doing with Jake. Jake's like, oh, my buddy's Tom Stewart doing all this. I'm like, he had no money. I'm like, I'll help him. Turned out to be a really good investment. But the art to that was talking with Tom Walton, which I didn't know who that was, he's, and it's 11 by 14 piece of paper, and I said, you guys, and I don't know anything about placemaking or city planning. Like I'm a Jonesboro, I live 6 days a week, hadn't been in Fayetteville at all in 10, 15, 20 years. And there I am with this kid. And I'm like, y'all are incredible. I was like, man, you're incredible. That is cool. That makes so much sense. And they look at me, they're like, hey, it's not us. We're just working the plan. Right. And it's like, and I look back at that time and I'm like, Tom, the humility he had, and he was, he's 40. He was probably 27, 28, but he's not like, look what I'm doing. I'm going to put my name on it. I'm going to do this. He understood. They hired people that came in and helped them create and curate a place, which is in city planning, it's placemaking, right? And it's really incredible because it's like you've seen my tirades over the last, 10, 12 years. I'm very loud and very vocal about it. But here you are with one of the, he's worth $15 billion, 10 times what Trump's worth, he's sitting around in flip flops, his hat turned backwards going, we're going to create a cool place for people to come live. And guess what happened now? You've been there, but it's like to see it where it was and see where it is now is like, for me, it's hard to imagine. It was like,
then you have to say, is that kind of, you and Amanda are doing a lot around town. You've bought property, you've built homes for medical, for doctors that are coming. Yeah. You've done a lot of stuff to help elevate that. Is that kind of the mindset? Was that a spark over there, 15 years ago or whatever, that you saw that you're trying to maybe put some of that into Jonesboro?
Well, what's so crazy is like, because I hired the same people, right? Because I don't know any of this stuff. None of this stuff's Ted Hergen's idea. Like I can wrench on a bike. Kind of, I can measure. I know how to do a Brannick device. I'm decent at riding a bike. Right. I don't know anything about it, or I didn't, but I hired the same people that worked for them. They come over and and they're just scratching their head going, you have Fayetteville, Rogers, Bentonville wrapped in one. and they're highlighting this stuff, and they're just Xing off. Like, mind you, we're over 80 square miles. The city of St. Louis is 60 square miles, or 62, and I think 4 of those square miles is water. So it's kind of like we're rural in density. I digress. I mean, as a tax base, we're going broke. It's hard to come out of that. But anyway, I was just, man, they come to us, or they came to me, and man, they just start Xing out parts of the town, like, and what I start realizing, man, we don't have a plan.
Right.
I mean, it's just every man for himself. And so we're just getting, the developers are just eating us alive. And the art, like Josh Olson was helped recruiting the physician. He helps with a lot of these doctors coming in from Little Rock and doing their residency fellowships, whatever, in Jonesboro. And they're like, we don't want to live way out here. We want to live.
And those homes you built, those places you guys built downtown.
And it's full of it.
It's right there.
And they work at St. Bernard. I mean, it's kind of like, my plan was like everything that touches St. Bernard's.
Right.
Anything that touches Jonesboro Public Schools. Anything, it's just kind of like, guys, like, you cannot, but it's building for the future. And I mean, when you start realizing, again, it's kind of like it's like companies now chase talent. Right. In Jonesboro, we're still playing the old school tax incentive, trying to get industry to come here. It's like, no, man, the industry looks at the workforce, then they decide. And it's like, as of now, we can't fill the jobs we have open. And it drives me nuts when I'm like, because of what it's simple. I mean, again, and it doesn't take a Walton family to do that. I mean, the Walton, what little people don't know, they cast a vision. Right. But they asked Jake Newell, my partner, that will y'all build residential stuff? Mm-hmm. We're going to build out a few buildings. They just attracted, it took me a year to figure out who those boys were. I'm like, oh,
you didn't know who you were talking to.
No, we still talk. I mean, I still get to see those guys, and we've gotten to do some business like that. I met Ferner on this business on bike program that we did just through collaborative music. We used to do these home shows in Jonesboro Bentonville. So Gearhead Outfitters, we'd sponsor them in Bentonville, and we'd bring the artists back and forth to, we'd do it out of our living room. Super cool. Right. Like country singer, songwriter, just neat stuff.
So in addition to you want to invest in parts of town that touch certain important areas, integral areas. Your latest project that you've announced, because most people don't know how many things you have going on in town. You can't keep track. That's what that is for. The new development you guys announced a couple weeks ago, downtown. And then you also have the restaurant coming, this amphitheater type project. Well, let's focus first of all on this, the latest thing you guys talked about, this amphitheater entertainment kind of venue downtown. Where'd that inspiration? Where'd you get that idea?
Well, it's been on a plan since the late '90s. Right. Again, it's kind of it goes back to Tom Walton, like going, hey, we're just executing a plan.
Right.
And I think of the humility because it was just me, Tom, and Brenda standing out there on A Street, and it was zero bragging, zero anything, and it was a simple answer, and then you come here and you start looking at the plans, and like Main Street, there's a plan involved.
Yes.
Matthew Medical Mile, like St. Bernard, it's a plan.
Right.
It's part of that EDOL study. They're executing on it. Yeah. And so and we continue to massage those plans. All plans need to be updated. I mean, it's fine, but until it's, I think they ran the wishbone probably for 20 years until they figured that out, so we just continue to play the wishbone, which is like driving me nuts. Again, it's kind of like, none of this is my idea. Right. It's just the fact that no one's like taking the helm and running.
Right.
And the reality is like everybody's now kind of bailing and moving up there, and they're like, oh, this is great. We can walk to the restaurants. We can walk. I'm like, we've got it right here, everybody. And we've got a university with the most rocking, athletic director, rocking chancellor, Todd Shields.
It's great.
Todd has done more for the city in the last 2 years. I'm talking turn this boat. This is a ship, 82 square mile ship.
Right.
And if you think of one part, I've been giving it all I got, 10, 12 years. And that dude, he's shipping it, man. Because it's our pipeline. It's growing up like in a church. I always say, man, if you don't have babies crying, then your church is dying.
Yeah.
And you start looking at the numbers, and people don't want to talk about this, but it's like our population under the poverty rate level at 18 and below is too high to sustain, and it's like, man, we've got to really figure out, this pipeline and how do we help, and what's our plan, So it's not all growth, it's good growth.
If you start digging into the numbers about population growth and things, you'll find some stuff that isn't very flattering.
Yeah, but some other people don't talk about it. But I'm doing what I can.
Yeah, you're doing what you can.
I'm doing what I can. It's doing cool stuff.
Your project, like the thing downtown, we have to want to keep people around. We want to give them more things to do.
Yeah.
People will say, there's nothing to do here, wine, whatever. First of all, that's not true. That's
I leave Jonesboro because it's like, there's just so much to do. I got to get the heck out of here. It's like, man, every night.
So tell me about the entertainment aspects, what you have planned for this new place downtown.
It's something that, again, it's been planned. The thing that holds me back is just resources. I mean, acquiring land is like the cheap part, man. It's the building the stuff is what's tough. But, when we're really fine tuning and honing in on this master plan, we got hotel in queue. We've got, we're working on, really expanding like our office and our infrastructure. We're deciding to stay in. I mean, as of right now, the plan is we're pricing to build a new distribution center for Jonesboro. I mean, for the Gearhead Outfitters brand. But as far as that use of space, or back to like place making or space making, it's, I tell people it's like there's a little town called Herget between here and Bay. They had street lights before Jonesboro, and it was a railroad. It was the old one lane north-south railroad, Greensboro, the whole thing. Jonesboro exists today because Burlington Northern UP at the cross. I mean, we've got two. It was the railroad is why we are who we are. Sure. Herget, no one even, they might say, I stole one of those road signs. I got it hanging up in my house. It's pretty cool. But I don't even know if it's even on a map anymore.
I don't think so.
So, but it's kind of like that's our identity. Right. That's who we are, And then thankfully, man, you've got ASU over here, and we've got the best leadership out there that since I've been engaged in this exercise for the last 10, 12 years, the best leadership in set, and that's to the church comment. It's like that's the nursery.
Right.
ASU, we've got the biggest, it's second largest university, I guess. And I don't know. So. I don't want to say that and be it, but you got a DO school, you got a vet school coming. We got Butch Jones, we've got some rock stars out here, man. And these student athletes, we have got this engine, but it's just kind of isolated. And it's kind of like, man, we're trying to, back to the retaining, Todd's doing a great job of attracting the kids. We got record enrollment. We got all this cool stuff. Everything's tipping up, but it's like, man, to retain them. And, these kids now, it's like, which with a lot of my back to the housing and stuff that I've built. Burner's built cool stuff, he's full, I think like Gary Gespring's done some cool stuff and they're full. It's just, and what it is, people that work at it's the guys that are working at top. The ecosystem of the medical community and the business community. Yeah. You look what downtown generates. It's
exactly. Downtown, that you bring up downtown. That's where your head, once you move from Flint, that's where you decide to put a
stake like a Ford. Well, yeah, it was dead.
And it was dead back then. It was crazy. But you continued to invest in downtown Jonesboro with your residential stuff nearby, with the second store a few years ago across the street, and now this venue and the restaurant.
Yeah.
I know this answer. We talk enough. And you and I have the same beliefs here on, but why downtown Jonesboro? Why keep putting more stakes in the ground there?
Because building everywhere else is easy, and I'm the last guy. You just tell me I can't do something, but you look at things, and I'm not a 10-year. Again, here I am going on 29 years. God willing, the creeks don't rise. It's like you want to build something to last. It's like I'm not building something to sell. I'm not building apartments to flip. I'm not doing a neighborhood to flip. I'm not doing. It's the best ROI on real estate over 100 years.
Right.
All right. So it starts bringing in, this is a generational thing, is downtown. You think of downtown Bentonville years ago. We think about Walmart coming in with this 5 and dime. I don't know when that was, but it's kind of like that was good real estate then, kind of faded. Guess what? It's back, so it kind of ebbs and flows. But I think the way the workforce, but the automobile was part of that. When you really get into it, the sprawl.
Transportation changed.
And everybody now, though, that when they travel, they want to live downtown, they want to walk, Uber. I'm like going, man, we got Jonesboro Country Club within a half radial mile. You take a 1 mile pendulum from the spot downtown. It's like, man, you have the D1 school. You got just professional sports. You got all this. You got this incubator at med school, at vet school. It's everything Bentonville wants to be.
Right.
They're building hospitals. We've got St. Bernard's in here. We've got everything. All the residents. It's like we've already got it, and they're trying to be us. So it's not. Jonesboro just needs to learn to be Jonesboro, and I don't want to be compared to Monroe or any other town. Jonesboro. We're Jonesboro. We're competing against. I can sell Jonesboro over New York. You want to live in the city? Cool. My advice: live in Jonesboro. Hop on a one-way flight to LaGuardia. Spend the weekend. Come back. Because you'll get over going up there and back. It's
when you travel a lot. You get to talk to a lot of people. And when you talk about Jonesboro and you have to put it in the map for them, what's their reaction when they realize all the things that we have going on here?
Man, people just, they don't know what they don't know, and I can't blame them for that. And I think, for what you guys did with the skirmish event downtown, and I made that comment to you. I said, man, it's hard to see what you can be, and I don't know how that came to me, whatever, but I just sat there and I was thinking, I think I was watching your kid doing what you had all those kids went up and down Main Street. And I felt like it was like, I've been to the finish. I mean, I've been to the finish of the Tour de France, and I'm like, this feels like I'm on the Champs-Elysees. Like the way that they set it up and the way that event was held, whether in bike, you don't have to be in cycling or not, it doesn't matter. No. I mean, I go to Omaha and I'll go watch, or baseball, whatever. I mean, I'm just a fan of sports and I'm a fan of entertainment. I'm just a fan of experiences. I mean, I'm going to try to experience as much as I can, but watching, like, I was able to see what we can be, and back like to the Main Street thing, that was a plan that's still, that
we're working on it.
Ben Owens, Wallace Fowler, and those boys, St. Bernard's went their way, and then with Nancy Christmas, JCPA, they went north on Main Street, and that was the seed. And then, Clay was the money. Clay Young came in and steamrolled through and bought everything. Clay gets no one even talks about him. Like, he was the one that did it. I was just a little guy down in the middle with like a little bit of a heartbeat, just doing my thing. Right. But, Clay really did. And Clay paid for security. Clay paid for the trash pay. The city didn't help him. A lick. It was the craziest times. Everybody just shunned us. It wouldn't pick the trash up. Wouldn't have the police. It's like, what? And you dissect and look at how much sales tax money and property tax. Yep. Every 25 feet, there's another building. Every 25 feet, it's another $5,000. You can't, there's no neighborhood in Jonesboro. There's not a house there's nothing that generates that much. Yeah.
So when you sit back and when you have a spare moment, because I don't know how fast your life moves and how fast your brain moves, but you have a moment to take it in.
Yeah.
Do you just take a breath and go, or what's next? What goes through your head when you have that moment to stop and think for a second?
So I keep running and I keep moving. It's just like the consequence. Again, my mom died at 45. And you don't realize how young that is until you like I turned 52 yesterday. You're like, you just don't realize how young it is and how valuable it is. And the amount of people that still today will be, hey, your mom was so sweet, and they'll tell me a story about it or whatever. And it's just, and this is a guy, like, I don't do hospitals. I don't even know, I've never walked into St. Jude. Thank God I've never had to deal with any of that. But I have a really hard problem with the end. And I have a really hard problem with people with excuses. They they're just like, well, I'll get to it tomorrow, or I'll do it tomorrow. Hey, I'll start working out tomorrow. I'll start saving tomorrow. Maybe I'll go to college. I'm like going, no, man, only thing you've got is now.
Right.
And I gratefully had a mom that was like, hey, whatever you do, be the best at it. Mm-hmm. Go for it.
Yeah.
Dream big. I was the professional skateboarder, dentist, architect. Hell, I wanted to be everything, but it's just having, what I learned from her passing is how valuable every second is. Yeah. And really how valuable what you tell your kids is. You don't tell your kids no.
Yeah.
You try to coach them out of it. Just like employee. You're like, look, let's rethink it. Dad, I want to be an astronaut. Hell, my son can. If he wants, he can do whatever he wants to do because he's got the work ethic and he's got the confidence to do it. But you got to be. To me, I see Jonesboro where it can be. I see it where it is. Because numbers don't lie. And I've seen like the wealthiest family in the world and what they've done to a sleepy little podunk redneck Ozark town and have turned it into something really cool that a lot of people still haven't visited. It's being found, and as it gets discovered, and again, it's good for me because I own a ton of real estate up there, but it's going to lose its nuances.
Sure.
And it's, when I deal with the people, and I got a lot of friends there that are now selling their houses that are getting demoed and they're building. So look, guys, just enjoy this moment. Yeah. Like this front porch. Bijou, my buddy, the chef guy for the church. Bijou's house is getting bulldozed in March. And then the last one. So the art is nothing lasts forever. These moments on your porch are special and they will always be special. So just soak that in, and so I just don't want Jonesboro to end up like a Blythe or Pine Bluff because without the lack of leadership, it's we got the plans. Let's execute the plans. Butch Jones is a great coach. If you just throw the playbook out there and you got everybody out there. Right now, it's like, Jonesboro, and I'll say it, we're a professional football team in the big leagues.
Yeah, yeah.
We're in the game.
Yeah, they're getting paid now.
But there's no coach. I'm seeing the city as a cell.
Oh,
every little entity. There's no coach. You got a couple of guys that think they are, but they're not. They're not doing it for the betterment of what it looks like back to what do we look like 100 years down the road?
Right.
It's not what can we build this fast, flip it on a triple net lead. Like, no, and it's like, what build it to last? Right. And just like going back to the Gearhead Outfitters things. I mean, we're just, it's not a quick buck. It's not a quick flip. I mean, we truly care about, I mean, we are, our people are our whole fabric of our entire
Gearhead,
business.
People don't realize they might see your name on certain things, but they don't know how much you're doing that you don't take credit for, that you don't put the GHO logo on.
Yeah, man.
That's something, and I'm not, kissing up. I'm just telling you that is appreciated. You give people chances. You support things.
Man, I love this town. I mean, I love this town as much as anybody. I mean, and I'm not bailing on this town. I mean, I see it. And it's like incrementally, man, I'm getting there, Right. I mean, back to the venue. It's going to be a space
right.
for the people living in it,
community.
And I've got a lot of residents that live there.
Sure.
I mean, it's just intriguing, man. They're like, they have dogs. They don't have kids. I mean, they have, it's just, what makes Dixon, or Fayetteville cool, man. It's like, to me, I don't know. I mean, the trails are cool. I mean, you've got experience with your kid.
Yeah.
But outside of the bike trails, Dixon Street's kind of cool, and their square area is cool.
And you go down like MLK in Fayetteville.
Yeah,
it's just like it's down just going down the road. There's there's your Canes, there's your Whataburger.
But the difference though, it's like back burner. Look what Burner's building there. It's like it's off the trail. Like
right.
What people don't realize is, man, that bike trail is economic development.
Right. Oh yes. That's what we have to drive home to people. It's to realize that these investments that like you make, the private industry makes, to make those places for community is what has such an incredible multi-folded return on investment.
100%. But they look at me as like, I want to sell bikes, and that's just such BS. Man, it's just being intentional. Like every move, it's like a program like that is like a 2 degree, man. It's like incremental changes, and what does that 2 degree look like, and so it's like, man, be intentional about what you're doing, and it's like, how are we going to keep your son here?
Exactly.
If we can get this bike team here, it's like we can showcase, and man, we're the ag, we're the belt. Jonesboro geographically, and we own all the resources.
Yep.
We just have to sell it to this next generation because again, they'll go off. And I mean, Bentonville's cool. I mean, and the mountain bike trails to me are hard as hell. Like, man, I stay on the greenway, man. I'm like, dude, I don't want to break a leg, which I did break a leg out there and cuddled back. I mean, I have, but it's just, they're safe places, man. It's about, their whole thing is like, it's the next generation. So we got to get away from out in front of ourselves. Like we're so focused on us, and like the guys our age, man, are just so focused on making their mortgage. I'm like, look, man, like you're going to figure it out. You're going to hustle. You will find something. Yeah. But it's like, what's your pipeline? What's your nursery look like? And it's like, man, let's keep that nursery with the kids screaming, and let's create a place where they want to stay.
That's great. Well, Ted, man, we could talk for hours. A lot of times we do.
I kind of like this.
We'll do this again because I know there's a lot of things. I know that between the two of us, we always have an opinion on something.
Oh, I got them. Hey, look, let's fire them away. I always like to play the numbers cards.
We will do this again. But I just want to thank you. Gearhead is such an important part of this community, and I think there's a sense of pride in having you guys not just originated here, but staying here. Because when we travel and we go to a Gearhead or see a Gearhead in another place, and we went to Chicago, a year and a half ago, and you opened the new store in Chicago. We were there at the state of Arkansas.
That's
cool.
We
were able to walk in there and say, it started in Jonesboro, Arkansas. And I have a pride in that,
That's cool. The funny thing about it, real quick, my employees there and those guys up there, they're like, somebody at the state, this is kind of a big, like, you're partnered with the state of Arkansas. Yeah. The state of Arkansas only has 3 million people.
Yeah.
3 million. And you look at, Chicago is like 8 or whatever it is. I'm like, it's a small state, guys. Yeah. I think that's what makes Arkansas unique is, it's 1 degree of separation. We all hold each other accountable. And I just think it's beautiful, and everybody's finding out about it. But Jonesboro's got our unique position, man. And I'm just ready to see it,
We're going to do it.
Grow.
We're going to make it happen. And Gearhead Outfitters is not going to cut.
No, man, this is home, man. It's been good. We've got the best admin. We got just all Arkansas State grads. It's just a cool story. If I were big shot, we'd have a few hundred of them, and I'm just scared, But we open one today, and I'm trying to buy one right now. So it's like I'm waiting for that day.
All right, back here on the JBR Download, time to talk Christmas. Never too early or too late to talk about Christmas. And I don't know if you know the face or not, but this guy could kind of be like Mr. Christmas here in Jonesboro. Adam Sarton from Ground Crew, but you might know him as the guy who puts on Christmas at the Park every year out at Joe Mack. And hey, Christmas at the Park is back. How you feeling about it?
Excited. We are pulling it together. A little nervous. We've got a lot of rain coming in next week, and still got to button it up, but coming together.
So how many years has Christmas at the Park been going on?
Well, inception was 2019. I guess this would be year 7.
Okay, that's great. So 2019, year 7. This is really special, and I know it comes from the heart for you. You've got ground crew, you've got employees, you got so much going on. Where in the world do you find the time to pull this together?
A great,
and more importantly, why? Why would you, after everything else you got going on, would you do this?
So I've said this a lot of times. My family went and saw a regional Christmas light drive-through, and we had a blast. Drove about an hour to go see it, and we came back and was working in the yard the next day. And I thought, we need this here. Had no idea of the undertaking. I think it's one of those where if you knew it after the fact, you probably have rethought that decision.
What did I do?
But I've got 2 little girls, not so little anymore, honestly. 6-7 years later, they'll love that.
Oh, you didn't do
oh
that.
my gosh!
Oh my gosh!
That.
We'll edit that part out.
So, anyways, I think they were, they kept asking all year. I was unsure if Christmas at the Park would happen this year,
Right.
and hopefully, not hopefully, it's going to happen this year. So,
okay, so people love to put the stats out there. I mean, displays, lights. I mean, what all does this encompass when you start to having to plug everything in? What are we talking about?
As far as like the number of lights, we probably stopped counting at about 450,000. How many pieces that we have? It's a lot. Man hours, we get asked that a lot. One time I checked, we were well over 1,000 man hours in getting it and operate, just putting it up.
Mhm.
And then obviously we operate a staff every single night. Luckily, having done it for this will be our 7th year. When we put out for folks to sign up for their shifts, we now have multiple people who are like, "Hey, I didn't get any shifts."
Oh, that's good.
And so not only do we have a tradition that people have made, it's their family tradition to attend, we have a lot of people who love being a part of it and working out there.
That's
So
great.
It's great.
So for folks that might not have been to this before, it's at Joe Mack Campbell Park out there on the west side of Jonesboro, northwest side of Jonesboro. You enter not on the Dan Avenue side, but you got to come all the way around.
Yep.
It's just not a problem.
So actually, before you get there, turn at Dollar General.
Yeah, Dollar General, right.
And you think being there for 7 years, right? People would, but it takes
a while for people to catch on.
That's right.
It does. There is a learning curve.
That's right.
With Joyfest, started about the same time. We're kind of learning that people really starting to catch on this year. So, I mean, you come in. This is just a family thing from top to bottom. If you haven't been before, I mean, first time through on a Santa night, say how much time, if it's not too cold. I mean, does a family?
So Santa's there every night.
Oh, he's there every night.
He's there every night.
I didn't know he got there every night.
He's there every night.
That's a busy time for him.
A different time. But no, he is there every night. So, our longest wait that we've ever had, I think, was about 45 minutes. So we can get cars in. But for the most part, we don't have a wait. We can get people moving through pretty fast. So you can spend 7 to 10 minutes through the lights driving. And then where the magic, I think a lot of the magic is where you park and get out. So with Christmas at the Park, we're a little bit different than a lot of other attractions where we're a drive-through and a walk-through.
Okay.
And so you pay one admission and you get full. So once you drive through the lights, you park, you get out with family, and then you can go, see a 30-foot Christmas tree. You go see Santa. He's included, no charge.
Right.
You get a picture with him, walk around. And then we have some activities, inflatables. Again, those are no charge. Boards, that sort of thing. And then there are some things. We have 2 fire pits. Obviously, you can hang out by a fire pit for no charge.
Yeah.
But if you want to go buy some s'mores, you can go make s'mores. There's a gift shop for the kids. So I don't know what our average guest time is. I would say most people probably spend about 45 minutes to an hour just hanging out. Now, have I seen people there for a long time? I'm like, how long have these folks been here? Sure.
Now, it's by the carload?
It's by the carload.
Okay. Yeah. So what's the cost going to be?
Same price. I guess this is our 3rd year with the same price. $20 during the weekdays and on the weekends.
No, that's right. So just like the old days when you went to the drive-in theater, right? Just to pack them in the trunk and get everybody in there.
So, and then we do obviously want to, try to help anybody that would want to come. $20 is $20,
sure.
Right? And so our second Wednesday, so we open on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, so the 26th. Following Wednesday in December, it's just pay what you can. So for any folks who, maybe are struggling, they can come and there's no admission cost. And then we have a partnership with the city of Jonesboro. So the trolleys will run. They charge for the trolley ride, which is $5 for those that are over 13. If you're under 13, 12 and under, you come free. And then we don't charge for the trolley.
Well, that's great.
Free.
That
And
started
that's
last year.
Yes.
Yeah.
They operated one night last year. And this year, I think, is on the 20th.
Yeah. So this is a labor of love for you, for sure. And this year, we weren't sure if we are going to be able to pull it off or not. But, some folks came in at the last minute and made this happen. Was that like a big load off your shoulders that you get to take on all this work again? Or were you like, this little party that's like, oh boy, here we go?
Yeah, no, I'm glad to do it. I'm thrilled. I love it. I think that the financial burden, people just don't realize the cost that's involved with it. When you mentioned that you're running, say 8,500, 9,000 cars, that looks like dollar signs.
Right.
But those dollar signs come with huge costs, display costs, labor costs, and so the city. It's an interesting structure with how that has come about. It's still evolving. Hopefully, I'm not left with the bag again for the seventh year. So we'll be interested to see how that flushes out for this season and how that looks going forward.
Well, we kind of touching on it a little bit here, but the cost to put this on, there was a misconception. It really came to a head last year. There was some, I think some pretty poor 2 years ago. There's some pretty poor reporting done locally that painted this event in an inaccurate light.
I don't know.
Well, that's my opinion. I'm going to say there was an opportunity for local media to tell the correct story, and they did it. So I'll say it that way. But people thought this was a city-owned thing and it should be free. And those of us that know you, that kind of have an inkling about how business works, this is a mammoth undertaking. I don't want to embarrass you, but I mean, I think people need to know how much outside of the hours have you invested? Have you personally had your company invested in putting this thing on? These displays are not cheap. You're not getting these at Walmart. Yeah. So what kind of money are we talking here? I don't want to, you don't have to, it's beyond six figures, right?
It's a significant amount.
Okay. A significant amount of money. I don't want to embarrass you. You don't have to say it, but a typical display.
I'm not rich. Luckily, I could make her.
No, yes, exactly. You're paying interest on every display, every light bulb has interest on it.
Yeah.
So I respect that. People need to understand that you're sticking your neck out here.
Yeah. So it wasn't just me, right? I mean, it is me financially, but I've been blessed that luckily, had I not had the sponsors that we had, right? So A&P has helped $10,000 a year, right?
We've helped, yeah.
I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah.
Had it not been, with St. Bernard's and those cash sponsors, and along with our trade partners that we've had. And I hate when I name a sponsor, I don't name them all, right?
Right. Yeah.
But from Jonesboro Radio Group to Sunbelt, you name them, right?
Right.
So had it not been for them, it's I guess it's funny and not funny. When I started this, my wife, she was just like, hey, as long as I don't lose my house. Well, when we got into about year 3 or 4, I'm like, hey, at that point, I'm a few $100,000 in, and I'm like, I'm messed up, and so luckily, I remember emailing them in, I guess it was 21, and I was like, hey, we better do this thing for another 3 years, so that hopefully, at that point, I would have been really upside down, and so. I'm grateful for the sponsors who came in. A lot of people have said, why didn't you create a nonprofit out of it? Yeah. And I always want to be above board with how I do business. And spent from Jonesboro to Newport. I remember the conversation like yesterday with the CPA. He said, hey, if you do a nonprofit, you're going to have to set up a board. Yep. Do you think you're going to lose money? And I said, I'm not really sure yet, how this is going to happen. She goes, well, if you want to have people tell you how to lose money, and she goes, but you could set up and just put your family on the board.
Sure.
And I thought, well, that doesn't seem doesn't look very good.
Yeah, I can see that would be.
And so I just chose to do it. I'm the only guy on the paperwork. Yep. I'm the one holding the buck. And that's how I felt like I had the best integrity to do it. And so I am grateful for the sponsors who have kept my family in a house. So,
well, the A&P, we're glad to step up and help every year. But even after all those great sponsors, this is significant. And I just like to defend you whenever I can, and I'll do it privately. I'll do it in front of a microphone because this is important. I mean, you talk about a little while ago, you said like almost like 9,000 cars during the entire stretch. 9,000, each car's full. That's a lot of people coming to town.
We run a lot of people through. It's awesome. I love seeing it on the weekend nights. I mean, when you park and you're just sitting there and people are mingling and they're taking pictures with their families.
Right.
And, there's so many special memories from engagements that happen there and we've had engagements at the Christmas tree with Santa. They've had Santa hold the sign.
Oh, that's perfect.
People, this is their first time seeing Santa Claus. And obviously, we opened in 19 and then COVID happened in 20. And so having the park operating, and then not only did you have COVID in 20, right? You had a tornado, took our mall out.
Yeah.
And so there for a while, we didn't even have a place for people to go see Santa Claus. And, people talked about, well, how can you change the revenue structure? How can we go back to $10 a car, but yet offset revenue in other ways? Again, we've got a couple $100,000 in a walkthrough area where most people, when you go through a walkthrough park, you're paying by the head, not by the car.
Right.
So, okay, well, do you structure that differently? I mean, there's lots of conversations to be had. And one of those is like, well, everywhere else people have gone, they pay to see a Santa. And I just, part of me is, and not that you want to say all or nothing, hey, we're just going to not do Santa. We're not going to do Christmas at the park, or we're going to start piecemealing charges. I've worked in every single spot at Christmas at the park. And, when you come through the park and you're about to park, and, you kind of you want people to get out because you want them. I mean, if people will get out, they're not going to complain about the money. The value is there.
Right.
And so anyways, they come out and you'll say, your little script that's involved, hey, Santa Claus is here.
Right.
And, you see the kids go crazy, right? Sometimes a parent will look at you and go, I really didn't want to get out. I wanted to go home tonight. But there's those instances where a parent will look and go, their face just floods with like fear almost. And then they're like,
that look.
And they go, how much is it?
Yeah.
Right. And you look at them and say, hey, it's no charge, and then it's relief. And it's amazing to see that. I mean, and it's exciting, and then they park and the kids get to, I love lights. I love that. But there's something magical about Santa Claus. And that's partially why we have them there every single night.
So when the people want to gripe or whatever about $20, they don't realize the value in that. Like I said, because they will say, and I'll say if you're too diplomatic to say it, but it really ticks me off when I would see these folks say, well, at Batesville, they've got it for free. It's like, well, you're paying a special sales tax. So it's not. Plus, it's going to cost you a lot more than $20 to drive to Batesville and back. And not knocking Batesville. Well, they got a great display.
I hope they do drive to Batesville. I want to drive to Batesville. I want to drive to Gaza. I love Christmas.
Yeah,
I want to
just
see them
enjoy the
all,
season.
right?
But
and I wish we could realize
that
free.
They have here.
Yeah, and so we don't use any city employees.
Right.
Everybody there is paid.
Right.
Our Santa Clauses are paid. Hopefully nobody under 18 is watching this, or if you're 18, you still believe Santa Claus. We're giving them the little cash, just paying the L's. So, everything is paid there. And I had volunteers. I'm part of a volunteer organization. Volunteers in that kind of capacity. Doesn't always work out like you hope.
Good intention. But sometimes when push comes to shove and in your case, you're outside, it's cold, a little drizzly.
So we really want to maintain the guest experience.
Sure.
And so we even bring workers in on the nights volunteers show up because one, we've got to train them.
Right.
Two, we've had them just leave. And so it just doesn't work.
Right. That's good. There's so many moving parts in this. And we do it you have it at Joe Mac. Great location. How good have like the Parks and Rec guys been to work with?
They're phenomenal. Yeah. They've been super out there. So again, we want to honor the taxpayer just like you and other people. So we obviously ask them to not help, right? I don't think that would be right of us to use that labor, but they're obviously supportive of us. And I guess in the nicest way, they just kind of stay out of our way. They just let us run with it. So
but it's their place, and they
don't complain. I come through, I trim all the crepe myrtles just like I want them done. Yep. We come through, we mow and cut the grass down like we want it, and they never say you can't do that.
So anything new this year? Any new displays coming?
So did not. I thought about it, and I thought, you know what? I think I've spent enough.
Well, just tell me that you still have the big abominable snowman from the old Rudolph.
So we do have the abominable snowman, and then we had that 42-foot Santa 2 years ago.
Yes,
and we have spent a year trying to get a guy to fix it, a Dr. Vinyl, and Jan in my office has called him every single week.
Yeah.
For a year. Well, he finally got us done.
Yes.
And we picked it up, I think, yesterday.
Nice.
So I haven't got it blown up yet. I love the inflatables. They are if you've ever used inflatables,
I can imagine.
Super annoying. When they're 42 feet tall.
Yeah.
They're super heavy. But so we'll have that one back. It'll be a lot of fun.
Well, like I said, that's great. The big old abominable snowman from the Rudolph, the old animated classic. Love that one. But the thing is, it's once a year. So even when there isn't something brand new, it's still special. And my personal favorite, of course, is the snowman. Are you going to have the snow coming out of the tree again this year? That's more. That's where those
how much do you think that fluid costs?
Oh, I think I actually, because of Joyfest, I think I might know, but I know it's not. It's more than a tub of Dawn.
Gallons?
Yeah,
$2,500. Wow. Yep. So
enjoy the.
We used to run it every single night.
Yeah.
And and when you run 80 cars on a Monday, you're not even really covering your labor.
No.
To open. And so, those are the kind of adjustments that we're trying to make this year to say, hey, so again, we're still going to have Santa Claus every night.
Sure.
I mean, for what it costs to have him and for a kid to come and that's his only night to visit and him not get to see him or her, not see Santa, I can't live with that, right? When it comes to snow coming out of the tree, if we're spending $80 a night operating that. So those are the kind of things we're trying to tweak to where hopefully I want somebody to still have an amazing, perfect experience every time they come to Christmas at the park. That's super important to me. And Danny has told me, he goes, I don't remember what displays it had last year. You're the only one. You look at them, you see them, you drive by and go, is that one perfectly placed? You can tell me exactly where that display goes. Most people see that display maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
As they're driving through. And so that's where this year we've really tried to structure it to say, what is the minimum cost we can do? Because normally I've spent about $20,000 a year on new displays. But at the end of the day, when I'm paying for those displays, I don't know, maybe I'm put them at my house.
Yeah, there we go. Your house will be great.
Yeah. So anyways, that's kind of where we are this year to say, I'm glad it's back.
Yeah.
We don't have a long-term plan, which is really disappointing. We went back to sponsors and the majority of them said, hey, we'll stick with you for another year. It wasn't my intentions to do that.
Right.
I'm not under the current structure that I would like. I have nothing in writing that says I'm not holding the bag at the end of the season.
Got it.
I have an amazing wife who lets me just roll with it. And so we'll see what happens.
Excellent. So first night is the night before Thanksgiving.
That's right.
Final night is the 23rd.
That's right.
December. And I know you don't have the calendar memorized. Maybe you do. Is there a couple special nights in there that you can think of off the top of your head you want to pitch?
Yeah, I mean, they have to look at the website. I don't want to miss dates. I know we've got the Corvette or the car club. So the Corvette and College Road Cruisers, that's always a cool night. That's that first Saturday, I believe, that we're open. And I know Arkansas Blue Cross, they always do giveaways on their night. And they're amazing. They actually give out free pass throughout the whole season. So all you do is go visit Arkansas Blue Cross, Blue Shield across there on that fair park.
Yeah.
They give you a pass. And so not only are they a sponsor, but then they help pay us those sponsors, those passes. So that's huge. So that's a fun night because tons of people are there.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to, Jonesboro Radio Group has a fun night. So they bring out all their personalities and do that. So, and then we have the fun run. St. Bernard's Health and Wellness puts that on. So, that's your only time to walk through the park. So that's a lot of fun as well.
Good.
So, and we used to do fireworks.
Yeah.
But, you try to not be jaded about things. But I was losing about $6,000 to put the fireworks on. Those are expensive.
Yes, they are.
$1,000 a minute. To put fireworks on. And it was an amazing show. I picked on Trey. Somebody did post that it was better than the July one.
Oh,
and I was like, but maybe not last year or this past this year because it was pretty phenomenal. But I mean, we do it for I think 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And we just all out for 10 minutes. But what was frustrating is we didn't have that many people attend. And then come to find out there were more people watching the fireworks outside of the park for free, and at the end of the day, when you're paying the, $6,000, you're like,
people peeking over the fence.
Yeah. So I'm just like, hey, if people aren't willing to help pay for it, and so anyways, we didn't run that many cars after the 23rd. It just financially didn't make sense.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what will happen with Christmas at the park going forward. I hate paying taxes. I'll just lay that out there.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
And so that's where I really struggle with what happens with the structure of Christmas at the park. As of right now, no taxpayer dollars except for AMP, right? The hamburger tax. If y'all's be $15,000.
Well, it's actually
year.
It's actually not. It's not the hamburger tax. It's from our funding hotel tax.
Okay, so there's
no city tax dollars,
and that's important to me because do I really want my legacy to be I created something that became a burden to taxpayers, right? And so, it's a struggle for me. I really want the attraction to be, hey, if you want to come to Christmas at the park, you pay for it. If you don't want to come to Christmas at the park, it doesn't cost you any money. Where at Batesville, whether you go or not, you're paying. I hate to pick on Batesville. I shouldn't have said that.
No,
but a taxpayer funded thing.
But it's different. It's a different structure.
And that's where this year, hopefully we can get it structured. And and no taxpayer dollars are used to fund it. That's important to me. But also at the same time, I do know that, why I don't know anything about running a city, right? How do you structure economic development to create things that help grow the city, right? So taxes are being built for that really fancy sports complex. And I think that'll be great. Hopefully it increases, my quality of life,
Right.
even though we're taxes for it.
Sure.
So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah. Well, it's exciting. Website is Christmas at the Park,
NEA.com.
Christmas at the Park, NEA.com.
Yep.
And you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram.
Absolutely.
If there's any weather concerns, whatever, go there and just make your plans around it. And check out that calendar for when there might be some cool stuff going on, some deals, and Santa's there every night.
That's
So
right.
November 26th through December 23rd, Christmas at the Park, Joe Matt Campbell Park in Jonesboro. Hope to get you out there. More Christmas talk coming up in a minute. We're going to keep this Christmas theme going here in the JBR download. Of course, you have Christmas at the Park, which is absolutely fantastic. But my personal favorite, of course, when it comes to Christmas, and in no small part because I'm married to this beautiful woman who helps put it on every year. It's her creation, her brainstorm, my wife, Sarah, talking about Joyfest in downtown Jonesboro. Here we are, 7th year. When we started this off 7 years ago, did you ever think we'd be sitting here doing this today?
Well, I definitely had the vision for it and that it would be amazing. I think you kind of have to have big ideas, start something crazy. But when we first started it, I planned it like 2 months and just to kind of get a feel if people would be interested in it. And now every year when I stand there, I always don't sleep the night before. I get nervous. Are people going to come? And then when I'm standing there and we're about to turn the lights on, and I always get a little emotional because I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many people here. And look at all of this just Christmas amazingness around us. And I don't know, it's really special and it's neat to see how so many people in our community have come together and want to have something special like this for our families, for our town, for our kids, for future generations. And it's just become a really sweet tradition.
It has.
So-
And before we get too far into it, we have to say it's the first Saturday in December every year. December 6th this year, right? December 6th, trying to remember the calendar, so many things going on. But December 6th, downtown Jonesboro on Union Street in that park and parking lot there on Union Street where the new pavilion is, right a block away from where they tore down the Citizens Bank building, if you're not familiar with Joyfest in downtown Jonesboro. But this thing started out with your idea because you are addicted to Hallmark.
Yes, I love the Great American Family and the Hallmark and all the Christmas happy ending movies that you don't have to worry about anything bad happening in them.
Yes.
But I watched a lot of those nursing our 3 beautiful kiddos. And I was always like looking for just fun traditional things to do within a certain radius of where we live. And I was like, why don't we have something like that here? I've coordinated lots of events over the years with my different jobs and stuff I've had over the years. And you were like, just go do it. Just go do it.
Right.
And
I did. That's exactly what I said. Just do it.
Just go do it. And I said, okay. And so I literally started just going and talking to people that we already knew in town and cold calling people and hey, I'm doing this Christmas thing downtown.
Yeah.
Think Hallmark movie and I'd love for you to be a part of it. And how would it make sense for you?
But our first year, it was not very Hallmarky. It was.
Some of those Hallmark movies are really sweet and simple.
But to scale what it is now, I just think back about that first year and what did that first year look like as you remember? Because I'm going to tell my favorite story about it.
Well, it was very modest. Like I said, it was, we had some refreshments and very proud of people. And we had our countdown to light our tree and our first tree is still there. It sits in the very center and we'll always have it because it's a good.
It was the first one.
Yeah. And it's a good reminder of where we started with the event. But it is the string light tree that's in the middle of Barton's Christmas Village. And it's like, 15 feet tall? And that was a huge investment.
Yes, it was.
I know you just talked with Adam at Christmas in the Park, and it really gives perspective on what it is to put that together because that tree it was a lot to raise money in 2 months to get that. And that was our starting Joyfest tree.
Right.
So,
well, that night, we talk about modest beginnings. We had some coffee, some cookies.
Yeah.
We had extension cords running to this tree. My favorite moment was then Mayor Perrin, who's just the greatest. I mean, I don't care what your politics are. You couldn't dislike Harold when he was mayor. But we're doing the countdown, and he's got the plugs, extension cords, and he like jumped the gun. It was like 3, No. Then it turned on to the ones, put them back together. So we kind of lit it twice that first year.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the group that really put this next level, who saw your vision, was Bright Fiber and what they did a few years ago. And I always want to make sure they're thanked for what they did to elevate that game.
Yeah. And we had the big string light tree that you would see first. It was where JOSM is, and then it moved to where Ace Hardware is there. And so I was like, okay, whose tree is this? And let's find them and let's make it the new Joyfest tree. I just every year want to just add more and make it bigger and better. And so that led me to Ritter and Bright Fiber, and thankfully met a kindred spirit who also loves Christmas. And that evolved into now we had the giant, string tree for several years, which was fantastic.
Right.
It was
it's like 50 feet tall.
Yeah.
It was the big pole with the string lights going down. That was in the vacant lot across the street
and
from
it was
Union Street. It was huge. It
Yeah.
was great. And it was fantastic to see that thing lit up. But when Ritter came on and donated the giant tree we have now, that's 54 feet tall, tens of thousands of lights, and it's already up in downtown Jonesboro. I don't know when you're going to get to watch this. Joyfest is close to getting started, but it's already up in downtown Jonesboro on Union Street. So we're getting there.
It's so big that we just have to do things in phases and make sure everything's ready. And so, our new Bright Fiber tree, it's gorgeous, and it is definitely legitimizes the event.
Right. Well, and one of the fan favorites of Joyfest, you have the moment where we light the tree, we have the live music, we have the food, the vendors, but the Ferris wheel. That's when I said you might be crazy in my head. When you said we need a Ferris wheel, I was like, go for it, babe.
Yeah.
And so where does that elevate things to have not just the tree like so many places do, but to have a Ferris wheel and have those rides?
Well, it just adds to that Christmas magic that makes the event beautiful. It's a night event. You have all the lights on the Ferris wheel and the tree and the vendors and Ferris wheel spinning around, and with the background of the sun going down. It's gorgeous. It makes it just an extra beautiful event. And then when you ride the Ferris wheel, you get to see all the lights across Jonesboro, like the big ornament lights that hang.
CWL. You can see the lights at CWL. You can see City Hall.
It's just beautiful. So, when every year I was always looking for something, what can we add this year? What can we do to make it bigger and better? And each year, like I called Amanda Herget, and I just had Ted, and I said, I have this crazy idea. That's how I usually start the conversations. I said, I want to have just a giant snow globe that you can go inside. And she's like, oh my gosh, I collected those as a child, and that's really special to me. So that was a perfect match for them. And so that's one thing about Joyfest is I've just always wanted it to be the kind of event that is personal and everyone has kind of like a special connection to it, so that it becomes this tradition and not just like, okay, here's a logo for a t-shirt. I want it to be something that's a sweet connection for them.
And you see it. Of course, I'd be there regardless of being married to you. It's such a great event. But you see the smiles. You see the kids. And then you have these wonderful touches of nostalgia with the old Winter Wonderland building that is still there. And because that was one of the things that, a long time ago kind of was a Christmas tradition in Jonesboro. And it kind of started to fade. People weren't going to it as much. Tell me how we are able to incorporate that and also add something new to that venue to kind of tie the past and the present together.
Yeah. It was really sweet Christmas scenes, very, like you said, very nostalgic and stuff. But again, people weren't coming.
If you're not familiar, you're talking about the animatronic, the
little
old
winter
school, like the old department store window type stuff that you think in big cities.
And so, and I think back to the lady that started that. We're probably with, she's not with us anymore, but I would love that. I hope that Joyfest and what we've done continues to honor what, she had a vision for back then. That was a big, special thing for our town. Because it used to be downtown on Main Street, and then it moved to Winter Wonderland. But we needed to give it some new life, and they asked me to come up with an idea and not spend money. So that turned into the tree trail. So I just, again, went knocking on doors, reaching out to people to say, I'll put the tree up, which is really me and our three kids. we'll put the tree up for you. And then we had a tree decorating party where everybody came and decorated the tree
Right.
for their business or organization. So, and then of course we had the Salvation Army tree. We could come and,
Sure.
and so the whole center of Winter Wonderland is all these beautifully decorated, all kinds of
Yeah.
trees.
It's really something.
And so it's really fun to
Yeah.
walk through that. And when you go through, that brings you walk through that trail, and then that brings you to the Century 21 Santa Station. You get to have your picture with Santa. And,
Yeah.
when we lost our mall, we lost our Santa,
Mhm.
our traditional Santa. And so I was so excited that Joyfest could kind of step in and be that place to go get your pictures with Santa,
Right.
your traditional pictures with Santa. So we'll have that.
And the big throne. It's really
Yeah.
a great venue. Like I said, you get that touch of the past with the nostalgical, animatronics, and you got all the businesses putting their trees up. And then you get to go have your picture made with Santa. Once again, no charge to do that.
No.
And so you get downtown, you got the Ferris wheel, you've got the 54-foot tree that we're light at 5:30. Oh, we'll have somebody light. We don't always tell who it is till the last second, but we're going to light that tree at 5:30 on Saturday, December 6th. You got the Winter Wonderland, the skating rink, the First Community Bank Wonderland rink. There are so many things going on down there. And one thing that sets Joyfest apart from other maybe things going on in town that time of year and throughout the years, you have created a way to make it an experience, not just day of. You came up with another great idea to really make it a true experience for the weekend for families.
Yeah.
Tell me about the staycation.
The staycation. So, I usually, like when I was little, my dad was in school. We didn't have much because he was in school, and we couldn't go anywhere. So we did a staycation at the local Best Western where we lived, and it had an indoor pool, and it was just one of my favorite memories when I was a kid. And I was thinking about that. I was like, man, wouldn't that be cool to create this vacation for families to come, and they could go to Joy Fest and do all the Christmas things that Jonesboro has to offer. And that just evolved into, let's make Jonesboro the destination for Northeast Arkansas to kick off Christmas.
Mhm.
It's easy. We've got the Christmas parade on Friday. We have Santa's North Pole. We have the Christmas tree plantation. We have we're doing a Christmas open house downtown with our businesses. We have Christmas in the park, Joy Fest. I mean, so much that you could fill a whole weekend. Easily. And so with your staycation, come and
At the Embassy Suites.
at the Embassy Suites, you stay Friday and or Saturday, the 5th and 6th of December. You get with your room. That's all you have to pay for.
Yeah.
That's
Listen
it.
to this list. If you haven't seen it on Instagram or Facebook,
Yeah.
this list, and I dare you to even get them all listed. There's so many.
I know.
cool
I
things.
want to make sure I remember everything. But you come and you check in, and we'll greet you there. We'll provide you. You have passes to the North Pole, VIP tickets to Joy Fest. And we have a really nice VIP tent at Joy Fest that DJ hosts. It's really nice. And you get an armband to do some of the rides. And then when you come back to your room, and again, bring your swimsuit because there's a nice, lovely indoor pool,
Right.
which is a treat in the wintertime.
Yes, it is.
When you come back, you get cookies and milk when you come back from Joy Fest. And then in the morning, wear your Christmas PJs and you have breakfast with Santa. Then, like I said, you had your tickets to go see North Pole, which you could go on Saturday before, or you can go on Sunday, or, and then in your room, there's all kinds of surprises that, like, one of them I'll tell you is the hot chocolate charcuterie tray that you have for you there. And then tickets to Delta Symphony Orchestra for you for the next weekend.
Yeah, following weekend they have a Christmas performance.
So, I mean, it's a lot, and all you have to do is, come
pay for that room at Embassy Suites, pack your hoodie pajamas and your Christmas jammies, and you are all set.
It's such a good.
It might be 75 degrees outside, but it'll feel like Christmas.
Yeah, it will have. I mean, people have been coming to do this for years now. They have come once, and now they come every year.
And a lot of these folks are from Jones. They're not just coming, get people from out of town as well, but it's a chance to do something a little special. Maybe your family doesn't get to travel for the holidays. Maybe your family is all close by, so you don't get that little experience. So here's a way to sneak away without getting too far away.
Or plan your family thing that weekend, and the party's already there for you. Exactly. Everybody could just go down there and enjoy that. And you were mentioning the temperature, and that always kind of varies. But the cool thing is we also have the St. Bernard Snowflake Lane. Last year, everyone thought it was really snowing.
Yeah, it was a little brisk last year, but but it
really felt like snow. So that was really sweet. We got some fun pictures because it really felt like it was snowing. So we have our snow, and a lot of people were walking through the Barton's Christmas Village, and they were like, "Is it really snow?" And then at the high troll stage, that's a big, treat all night. We have performances by the FOA, and we'll have a
Community
performance
choir?
by the Delta Symphony
Oh,
Orchestra.
DSO, yeah.
A little treat from them, and then the Link Theater. And then this year we started something new with, I wanted to put together a community choir where anybody with zero experience, just a heart to
Just
sing and
sing.
be happy.
Joyful noise.
Yeah, can join that. And we have the links on the website for that. And then we'll do the countdown, and then we'll have more Christmas music throughout the night. Corey and Stephanie Epps and Bloodhound and Emily and Zach. So we'll just full. I mean, everywhere, every direction you look, there's something to do and enjoy, and for all ages. And of course, we have in addition to the Ferris wheel, we have the First National Bank Carousel, which I love. I love Carousel. It's Carousel. And there is a Hallmark movie called, I think, Christmas Carousel.
Well, there you go.
So, got to have the
You
Carousel.
inspired them.
And then we have the CME teacup rides and the Ag for Autism inflatables. So plenty of stuff for the kids in all ages. I mean, who doesn't want to ride that at any age?
Ferris wheel's fun. It's just,
I'm not going down the inflatables.
I'm with you right there. We'll ride the Ferris wheel together.
I'll do all the other things, but I can't do the teacup.
No, that's not your cup of tea.
Too busy. But I love seeing all those kids giggling and laughing.
Oh yeah, it's so much fun. And once again, Joyfest, first Saturday in December every year. This year, that's December 6th.
Yeah.
The night before, the 5th, is the parade in downtown Jonesboro, Christmas parade. Once again, Joyfest is free to come to. Shop as much as you want. The music is all free. You do have to pay. Well, food trucks, plenty to eat. You do have to pay to skate. You have to pay to ride rides. And if you want to grab something to eat or go shopping, great vendors down there. Local artisans and craftsmen and just great things being sold, high quality,
Christmas shopping
Support
stuff
right there in the Barton's Village, all local. So it's just a great event, and I'm just really proud of you for what you do with that. A&P is very glad to support it, and this community supports it more each year. So once again, the website is Joyfest Jonesboro.
And I also want to thank Parks and Rec.
And oh gosh, I'm so sorry. The Parks and Rec guys trying to sign off here. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to mention them because working with, first I work with DJ, and I mentioned the tent there, the VIP tent, but the Parks and Rec guys, they're so much fun because I think they really look forward to Joyfest.
I think they do.
Getting ready for it, and they're all kind of in an extra good mood.
Yeah.
Because they're used to just,
there's mowing lawns and,
it's hot. And so when Joyfest comes around, they're in an extra good mood.
Yeah.
And I think they enjoy it. So I'm so thankful for
I'm glad you snuck that in there. Because
sorry to interrupt, but I really wanted to thank them.
They are essential. And Danny Kapalis and his guys, and Adam and the guys, I mean, they just really bring it for you each year.
They're fantastic. And my other big volunteer group is the Crown Club girls. Those ladies are fantastic every year. They always show up, and I'm so thankful for them. And it's funny because back when I was in JA, Junior Auxiliary, I was part of the group that started Crown Club. And then fast forward to now, they're like my best volunteers. So
that's great.
Yeah, it's really special. So back to
sign off, man. No. So I just, like I said, I'm excited about it. It's a fantastic event. Check out the website, Joyfest Jonesboro. Check out the staycation. It's all over R&P social media. It's on Downtown Jonesboro Alliance social media. A fantastic deal. We really encourage you to check that out with your family. Make a special memory in Jonesboro that first week of December with Joyfest. You got the Christmas parade. You got Christmas at the park will be going on. No reason not to be here. So that is the latest on Christmas at the JBR Download, and we can't wait to see you. Of course, there's always a lot of events happening in Jonesboro outside of the holidays. I ask you to go check out tourjonesboro.com, powered by Ace One Technologies, to go to our community calendar there to see all the events happening. And one thing that just got announced recently, Parker McCollum is going to be coming to First National Bank Arena. That concert just announced. That'll be September 17th of 2026. So always go to tourjonesboro.com to see the latest things happening in Jonesboro. Always exciting things happening. And you can submit your group's event on there and get it on our calendar as well. Other things to talk about, the Ridge Athletic Center continues to go. We are starting to put walls up at the Ridge. So that's very exciting. A milestone in that progress. Still targeting early 2027 to open the Ridge Athletic Center. As always, so many cool things happening in the city of Jonesboro. You can check out tourjonesboro.com for all of that. I want to thank once again Adam Sarton from the ground crew to talk about Christmas at the Park, Ted Herget from Gearhead Outfitters, Great local company that just grows and grows. Thank you for their support. And of course, my wife, Sarah Rickert, here to talk about the downtown Jonesboro Joyfest coming up the first Saturday in December, December 6th. We'll see you next time on the Down.